Hello everyone, we are back out here in Berea where the Browns are preparing to go and face the St. Louis Rams, and Todd Gurley, the running back, the rookie that's come back, and he's doing great. The Browns head into this with the 32nd ranked run defense. Tom, can you believe it?
Unfortunately, yes, because we've seen so much of it. It's you know, since the last 2 years, this is the one constant. And I think Mike Pettine talked about it today. It's just the source of frustration. They have just not been able to fix it. In fact, it's kind of getting worse.
Yeah, and you know what? I talked to Danny Shelton today. We asked him, you know, do you feel in some ways responsible? I mean, you were brought in to help shore up that run defense, and he said, you know what? It definitely hurts me. He doesn't feel like he's playing up to par, but I mean, when you look at it, you know, it's the typical rookie ups and downs that you see on a football field. However, he only played 25 snaps last week. Yeah,
and it's good. It's good that the kid takes ownership that way, even though, you know, when you watch it, when you break it down, most of the runs, the big runs, have come on the outside. But I'm sure he still felt he would make a greater impact than he has at this point.
Absolutely. And lots of other things going on out here today. First of all, Joe Hayden still in the concussion protocol. You know, when you're in it and you're still there on Wednesday, in my opinion, it doesn't look great for you to be able to play in the game.
No, I think we'll see Pierre Desir again, would be my guess, a second straight week. And now, obviously, if they're not facing a Hall of Fame quarterback and two Pro Bowl receivers this week, but it'll be a challenge.
And Tayshaun Gibson still not out there with that ankle. You know, when I talked to him on Friday, he said he was determined that he was going to play this week, but, you know, it remains to be seen if he will. This would be number 3 if he sits this one out.
Yeah, and we all know that, you know, I think they've won one game in his absence in over 2 years. Lost every game last year when he was out, so he means a lot to them. You know, it's tough to replace quality like that. We saw last week on the big play late in the game when the Broncos started to get back in it there. It was a play where Jordan Poyer may have taken the wrong angle on the 75-yard pass to Emmanuel Sanders. You know, those are things that are hard to replace.
Yeah, absolutely. And, you know, we did ask Mike Pettine today, hey, what about Dwayne Bowe? Unfortunately, we asked that question a lot. We asked it again today, and he said, you know what, the 4 top receivers are pretty well entrenched, and in order to get on the field after that, you have to be able to play special teams, and right now Marlon Moore is doing a better job at that. So it doesn't look like Dwayne's getting on the field anytime soon.
No, he's going to have to wait for injury, and again, it's just, you look at it, and it's a tough situation, I think, for management here, certainly for Dwayne not being able to play, but maybe a very costly mistake in the long term here.
Yeah, it really is unfortunate because, boy, I'll tell you what, Josh McCown could really use another tall guy in the red zone and in the end zone besides Gary Barnidge. It would help him to have another big body guy that you could go to down there when things tighten up considerably. A couple of guys coming back onto the field. Rookie cornerback Charles Gaines. Hey, he was doing a nice job in preseason, wasn't he?
Yeah, the game that we saw, we both talked about him in Tampa Bay. Now, we won't see him for at least a couple more weeks, but boy, it did sound like Coach Pettine was kind of excited to get him out there and see what he can do.
And another guy that they started to see again on the practice field today, that's Glenn Winston. You guys haven't seen too much of him, but boy, is he a load just when you see him in that uniform and walking through the locker room, isn't he? Yeah,
he sure is. So again, obviously with Robert Turbin coming in, he's going to have to find a way to get himself on the field other than in special teams.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see what he can do. I know that they were very high on him last year and thought he could bring some explosiveness and some power to the table. And the Browns dodged a little bit of a bullet because Duke Johnson was checked for a concussion, and he was cleared from that, and then he had sort of a stinger shoulder injury, but he was out there practicing today, not even on the injury report.
Yeah, that's a big plus for them because Duke has really played well over these last couple games, and I thought not having him on the field or at full speed really hurt them at the end of that game.
Yes, it definitely did, but he will be back, as will Robert Turbin, Isaiah Crowell, so they should have a running game this week.